Hello and welcome to PIMA's ART 105 course. CRN for this class is 13403. Um, I'm your instructor, Raven Moffitt, and I'm actually recording this a little bit before the semester in the my secondary home in Scappoose, Oregon, where we're having a heat wave. So I feel very connected to the desert and to Tucson right now. I know many of you might be, even though you're attending Pima Community College, you might be accessing this course from places far and wide. And what's great about this course is it can meet you where you're at. Just a heads up, there are a couple of in-person activities, and those include going to museums and going to galleries. Because Pima Community College is based in Pima County, all of my resources are tailored towards people who are in the Tucson, Phoenix area. But let's say you're attending classes in New York. There's amazing museums there, a great art scene. You're more than welcome to use your local community. I also often have students who are in more rural areas who might at first kind of struggle to find the local art scene. And I just want to say, so I'm currently in a rural area. Scappoose, Oregon is pretty rural. I'm not too far from Portland, so I have access there. But everywhere I've lived in a lot of rural communities. I've lived in um, very rural Appalachia, and right now I'm in the rural Pacific Northwest. Everywhere that I've lived, there is some community art space functioning somehow, somewhere. So for my rural folks, for my small town folks, even though it might be an extra challenge, I think it will be particularly rewarding. So that's a little bit of information up front. I really want to highlight that because uh, students, have signed up for a completely online asynchronous class, and that is what this is. But there are a couple of opportunities for you to get out and about, and I really want to preference those. Um, so a little bit about me. I've been teaching this class for 3 years now, and I have taught it in person, and I have also taught it online in many different formats. But we just did a little bit of a reformatting of the class. So hopefully it's very accessible, very clean. But of course, if you're struggling with anything, with any of the D2L links, with anything class related, please just email me right away. Um, and give a little patience for me this go round because you're my first class of students in this new Art 105 format. The content is the same. Honestly, the D2L page just got cleaned up. So hopefully it's easier and more accessible for everyone. Um, Okay, so I shared how long I've been teaching. So my background, I am a studio artist. I got my MFA from University of Arizona a couple of years ago, and my focus was in lens-based technology. So I did my background was photography, but I really ended up working in video and performance. I've done installation work. I've also worked in many museums as a curator, as a proprietor, as a provenance researcher, as a installation exhibition person, and just kind of as a docent and visitor relations also, I should say. Um, so museums are a happy space for me. I know that might be a new space for many of you. Please feel free to email me if you have any questions. Um, and then I also really understand what it is to be a student because I am in what is hopefully my last year of my PhD research. I am finishing up writing my dissertation. I'm very familiar with the pressures and the wonderful opportunities that is higher education, but also how much of a pull it is on our time. I know many of you might be working or have families. That's something that I really love about this class because it's completely online and asynchronous. It does give flexibility for people, to come to class and to log on when they're able. I do want to say up front, though, that it doesn't mean that we don't have deadlines. I need you all to be logging in every week and submitting work weekly, or else you will not be marked present. So I really want to make that clear because not all online classes might work the same. Um, let's see here. One other thing about me before I move on to the class is so my degree will be in American Indian Studies. Um, I have that background, but I also am a certified animal behaviorist, and I've worked with dogs for several years. And my PhD research looks at dog representation in contemporary Indigenous art, film, and novels. And it makes a case for dog trainers to pay attention to Indigenous wisdom and Indigenous relationality, and to shift the way that we think about dogs, to trust them more and to acknowledge their agency. So just to say, I am definitely an animal person. Always love animal things. Will probably be sending lots of animal art related things because it's what's on my radar. I have three wonderful dogs and a small flock of chickens here in Scappoose and some quail. I'm also a caretaker for some rescue mice, and I have several insects. Probably my favorites are the blue death feigning beetles, which, if you're from the Southwest, you're probably familiar with them. But that's also why I'm looking over in the corner. My dog is on the couch with me, and he loves to get up and look at the window. So I'm always tuning into him. All right. Well, that's enough about me. Just wanted to introduce myself, and I'll be introducing myself again on an upcoming assignment. We'll allow that. Sorry, I had a little alert pop up about Zoom. Uh, so you'll get to know me more throughout the course, and I'll get to know you all, of course, through the medium of art. This is what our landing page looks like. Every week, twice a week, I will be posting course announcements. A lot of the time, they are friendly reminders about due dates, which you can also find here right on our landing page on the calendar. Um, and also sharing opportunities and resources as I come across them. Um, if you scroll down on our landing page, you will find a link to our wonderful librarian, Sandra Lay, who can help you with research and especially with academic sources. Because I am someone who has been an educator and a student in higher ed for so long, I am a real stickler for making sure that citations are properly done, properly formatted in there. So I'll say that up front, and I will be providing you resources that are just kind of like web pages or references. But if it's something that is new to you or you need a little bit more help, please contact Sandra. There's also links here to your PIMA Gmail, tutoring services, and all of these quick links here at the bottom, like tech support. I'm particularly going to highlight ND2L support could be helpful because so I am your go-to person about any questions about this course content, art history, art PIMA things. But when it comes to D2L, if you're struggling to access things on D2L, submissions aren't working, pages aren't loading, please, of course, email me and let me know. But likely that is a issue with the D2L server or with your individualized access to your account, which would probably mean you need to contact either PIMA's tech support or D2L support directly, because I can't help you with your individual D2L login if it is a technical issue. That is a great segue for me to say, one of the ways that I monitor course attendance in this online format is every week you will have quizzes due. And those quizzes are a very hard deadline. If you have some extenuating circumstances with a lot of our other assignments, if you email me in advance, I will work with you. But because the quizzes are my best way of ensuring attendance, that has a hard and fast deadline with almost all circumstances, and you'll see all of our deadlines up front here. I'll take you to that right away. We're going under the content page, and we're going to the welcome module, which you should click through each of these, and just up there in the right-hand corner, there's a little advance, and you'll walk through all of those. But the page that I really wanted to show you is our schedule of work. All due dates are clearly listed here. They're also associated with each of the quizzes. If you find them in our content, the due date is listed, the calendar widget is updated, so you know the deadlines. So it's up to you to work ahead to get those quizzes in on time. The one time that I will be lenient and extend a quiz due date is if you are having a D2L or technological breakdown. So if like there's an unexpected storm and your Wi-Fi cuts out and it's like, the evening of, but you are able to email me, using data and let me know when it connects back on, then I will be able to extend your access to the quiz. So please take a look at our schedule of work. Make sure that you know all of our deadlines. I'm scrolling through it so you can kind of get an understanding of how it's laid out. I have all of the assignments, a rough estimate of how long it will take, if it's graded, how many points you'll be receiving for that, and then what the due date is. It's 11:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for that assignment every time. Uh, in on So this class also is a slightly shortened version, not in terms of content, but it's just the same amount of content as a full semester compressed into 8 weeks. So we will begin this week in August, and then we will end October 17th. 99% of your assignments, of your weekly assignments, will be due on Thursdays. So October 16th, I am giving you wiggle room of one additional day there at the end of the semester because our course allows for it. So you'll just have one last day to do a very small final assessment and to get your course evaluations in, which we really appreciate and I really do look at. But everything else will wrap up consistently on Thursdays. So I wanted to alert you to that. Okay, I'm going to take you one more place here. Let's walk back to our table of contents. We were just in the welcome module. And again, this is the first thing to kind of walk through, and your first assignment that you'll have due is a syllabus course contract quiz. Basically, this is a couple of questions ensuring that you have read through our syllabus and you agree to move forward in the class. If you do not submit your course contract quiz, and you don't let me know that there was some sort of technological malfunction, and particularly if you don't submit this quiz and don't log into the class, I will automatically disenroll you from the class. So be sure to get that in if you are interested in continuing. The last thing I wanted to share is our syllabus. So right now, what's going to come up on the screen is a draft. Last year, Pima updated how we do syllabi, and it's wonderful. It's this kind of online platform that helps streamline it. It allows instructors to plug and play rather than redrafting it every semester as a PDF. But sometimes this, and actually almost every semester, maybe last semester was the first time this didn't happen, but consistently with me, this platform is slow to load at the very beginning of the semester. So I will be making announcements if there's any kind of delay in releasing the syllabus. If I haven't made an announcement, it should be accessible to you. But if there's any issues, any glitches, there should be a PDF copy of this that's a little bit less of a pull on your bandwidth that will be available in that welcome module. And also, please feel free to return to this video where I'm going to go through all of the key points of the syllabus if ever you're having trouble accessing it on this platform. So we know this is ART105. We know we're not meeting in person. It's fully online, asynchronous. We're starting August 21st and we're ending October 17th. So it is that shorter 8-week course. And some important dates to draw your attention to. The drop refund audit date is August 28th. So just a week into class, you want to pay attention to that. And then basically the following, oh no, you have another month, whether if you want to decide to withdraw. And I usually try to email people, but I update your grades every week. You'll know your standing in terms of grades. And I generally try to email people if I think it's in their best interest to withdraw, if they've had something come up or they haven't been participating in class. Those are the situations in which I think it's best to withdraw and then try again on your own time when it's a better fit. Um, great. Here's a little bit about me. The way to get a hold of me is through my Pima email. I do not have an office phone. I don't actually have an office on any campus because I'm associated with the online school, and I'm not teaching in person very much anymore. So if you want to get a hold of me, email me. If you want to interface via Zoom, I'm happy to. I don't have set office hours because often they don't even work for students who are reaching out. And as a PhD student, I also have kind of bizarre week by week deadlines and things that I need to be doing. So if you want to Zoom with me, I'm happy to. Just email me your availability for that week. Give me a couple different dates and times, and we'll find something that works. Um, Again, this is an 8-week course. That means you're probably gonna log about 17 hours a week as a average. Things you'll need to be successful in this class. Uh, your laptop or, a electronic device that connects you to D2L and reliable Wi-Fi. That's like number one. And then some art materials, note-taking materials, sketching materials. We do have one hands-on art making assignment, which is really fun. And then the other thing that I definitely want to draw your attention to is this transportation to go visit local art displays, museums, and performances. That, of course, doesn't mean that you have to have a car, but you do need to have some sort of, whether it's a friend or a family member helping to get you around, or using public transport, or being self-powered, just making sure that you are able to get to those spaces. Um, Go ahead and take a look at the assignment guidelines for the hands-on self-portrait and start planning ahead, thinking about what kind of materials you want to use and slowly collecting those so that you don't come up to that assignment near the end of the class and think, oh my gosh, now I need to, go find materials or buy materials. Planning ahead is always the best move. Here's more information again on D2L support. There's no textbook for this class. Everything is all through D2L. Here's a breakdown of everything that goes into your grade. Um, while it might seem like, okay, 20 points isn't that big of a deal in the scope of a class that has 760 points total. And it's not, if you have a week, it's not your best week, you can easily recover. But if you kind of have that mentality going into every quiz or every little assignment, it really does add up. So again, be checking your grades frequently. I'm updating them every week, at least every week. And refer to this if you're thinking about, I'm not sure if I have the time for something, because you really want to, make sure you're presenting your best work for the hands-on self-portrait assignment and the art museum field trip assignment, because they are the largest chunks of your grade. But you also want to be showing up consistently with our discussions and quizzes. Again, some important dates here. I've already gone over them at the beginning, but there they are again. Again, emailing me, best way and only way to contact me, unless you happen to see me on campus, which you probably would not. Um, I've said all of this. I will reply to you. Oh, something to note though about responsiveness. I am check my email every day, unless there is something going on in my life where I've lost internet access or I'm traveling. And I generally try to update our announcements and make you all aware of when I'm traveling. I'm still going to be in the course. It just might mean that I have different periods of time where I'm accessing the course, right? Wherever I have connectivity. Uh, I am very responsive to email, but the email needs to go to my inbox. And the reason I say that, it's like duh, but often students, whether they are aware of it or not, will email me from their personal email. And like 75% of the time, that just automatically goes to my spam folder. For whatever reason, my Pima email is very protective of any email that's not coming from another Pima account. So please email me using your Pima email. That's the best way to ensure that I receive the email in my inbox. I do check my spam folder occasionally, but less frequently than my inbox. Also, if you've emailed me and 24 hours have passed and I've not responded to you and it's not the weekend, although I do try to check my email once a day, the weekend is the time where I give myself some leniency. Um, Please feel free to follow up. Maybe it got lost. Maybe my reply didn't send. Yeah. So, uh, I do allow collaborative use of AI in my class, which means that you could use AI to for your, let's say you were doing your time machine apprentice discussion assignment, where you research an artist that really inspires you and you imagine yourself in that time period, interacting with that artist, learning from that artist directly. Um, let's say you are feeling a little uncertain about how to set that up. You could put the assignment prompt into an AI platform and see how a draft that they would give you, what your intro paragraph would look like, how many body paragraphs, a concluding paragraph. And that would be a nice tool to help you draft, but you can never take text that you um, got from a generative AI bot and submit it as your own work. That is plagiarism. That will not fly. I will catch you. And I have in the past. But you can use it collaboratively either to help you draft, or how I use it often is I'll write like a chapter of my dissertation, and there's a section that I think is not very strong, and I might put it into and I've been reading it, and I'm like cross-eyed, I'm not having any new ideas. I'll maybe put that paragraph or that couple of paragraphs into ChatGPT and say, um, I'm writing a chapter analyzing the Antelope Wife. This section talks about how dogs are protectors. Please edit this text for strong academic voice and clarity. And I'll see what ChatGPT suggests to me, and that will help me with my edits and make sure that my flow makes sense, my transitions are strong. And also, AI can be very helpful in catching any spelling mistakes or grammar errors. So you're welcome to use it as a tool, but you are not allowed to just submit things that were created by AI, whether it's text or image. But you can certainly use it to get inspired or to check your work. That's fine. But you do need to cite it as a source because that was a tool that you used. Again, I'm going to say this one more time. You have to log in every week and you have to be engaged with the course. Um, Basically, you have to do your assignments and you have to do your quizzes, and that's what your participation grade is made out of. So just logging in doesn't count for participation. Um, One last thing to tell you, and then I'll stop this video. Our department head is Mariana Carreras. She is wonderful, but she is running a whole department. So if you have any questions that go above my head, please, here is her contact. Please reach out. But just note that she is not as quick to respond, and that is just because she has many things going. She could be investigating also, what you've emailed her about and is, waiting to get the full picture before she replies. So, that's who to go to, and that's a heads up about response time from her. Okay, I'm looking forward to this class with you all. Thanks so much for your attention. I'll be posting more videos throughout the semester, but none quite this long. Again, please email me if you have any questions or concerns, and looking forward to meeting you all through our class. All right.